You make the screen bigger.
Boom.
Hi. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Whiskey Untitled. Today, we're going to be talking about something that everybody loves to talk about. It's wood. It's pallets. We're going to be talking about wooden pallets. You know, the kind that you get a pallet jack and put underneath it, and then you can stack tons of whiskey on, right? Isn't that word? Is that not the kind of pallets we're talking about today?
I thought, well, I work in shipping, so maybe that's, I don't know, that's whiskey and pallets, right? That's kind of the thing.
Oh, let's roll the intro.
Boom. All right, so today we're talking about shipping and logistics. No, we're not.
Wait, shipping and logistics of whiskey?
Yes.
That'd be amazing. Also, we're 4 minutes late.
It's a tad. They're fine. Look at that. Go Habs is like, yeah, it's showtime. Of course it is, my friend. So today's episode we're going to be talking about taste. I know it's going to be subjective. I know people are going to have problems with it.
That kind of palate.
But palate, taste, just in general, just things that most people pick up on. And hey, what we experience with certain whiskeys is going to be different from you guys. So please don't kill us in the comments. So, you good?
I mean, there are like 3 different kinds of pallets. So,
No, that's true.
did you know that whiskey farts actually reduce global warming?
Damn,
I mean,
Eric, wait,
what?
dropping the knowledge.
How does that work? I need to know. I need to know where you learned that from.
Maybe he's got a thing. Anyway, what's in your glass since it's a drinking show?
I don't know. This is, well, I'm just celebrating today. I hopefully have good news soon.
Yeah.
But
Whoa, that's really celebrating.
I would probably celebrate with this with any day, though. I mean, it is Tuesday, a day that ends in day.
Well, you would drink
which
that
is a
all
good
the
reason to
time if you had a bunch of it, but we all know we don't, so...
I know. I'm going to have to open bottle number 3 when this is empty.
Yeah, that's scary. I bet you've been nursing that one for a while.
A little bit.
And then for me today, I'm taking a sample. Octomore number 6. Cast number 22, 13-year-old. So...
6.1.
It just says MPS 6.
Wow, somebody did not do a good job of labeling.
Yeah. Axis of whiskey.
Eric is absolutely correct. Wood and pallet are not suitable for YouTube. Nothing is suitable for YouTube anymore.
Yeah, demonetized. Boom.
Just like that.
Yeah, so you guys gonna see me?
That's why we have Patreon.
Yeah, you're gonna see me now drink some Octomore, which, as you know, I'm not a big peat fan, so that's gonna be interesting today. What sucks is I'm gonna drink something else after it. So.
I guess Steve is not commenting, but he's here. I know because he just text messaged me. But to answer your question, Steve, instead of answering via text message, yes, I had a job interview today. Yes, I'm celebrating how I think it went, but until I hear back from HR with that offer letter, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
But no, I met some people. I mean, I was dressed up, and the guy came out with a mohawk.
Whoa.
And like jeans and a sweatshirt on. So I figure I pretty much got the job. We'll see what happens.
That was a good thing. Well, Charles, can't watch at the moment, but we'll after. No worries, man. Thank you for tuning in and saying hi, and see you in the next live
Thanks
feed.
for saying hi with your motorcycles.
Yeah. Later on, he's driving the motorcycle, trying to text at the same time. Shit. You crazy, man.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so...
So there's a video.
Go ahead.
In the motorcycle community, there's a video of an Indian guy who's like sitting on a motorcycle, and he's got his feet on the handlebars, and he has a helmet up just like this, and he's texting while he's riding his bike. I'm not joking.
Oh, is that the one where like
craziest
sitting
thing
back or reading the newspaper? Have you seen that one? That one's hilarious.
No, I haven't seen a newspaper. People are crazy.
Yeah.
People are like legitimately crazy.
Yeah.
Man, why is Steve texting me instead of being in the chat?
I know. Yeah, Steve.
Oh, Steve, it's not like I'm saying who I'm... Oh, no, because my boss currently doesn't watch this show, I don't think. I don't know what's going on.
Who watches this show anyway?
Wouldn't you be surprised?
Only these
Wouldn't
six
you be
people.
surprised to know that I went to an interview today? Yeah, so...
Hey, boss.
Whatever.
Interview.
Oh, so...
buying whiskey?
So that
What?
didn't... Oh, I don't...
He's buying whiskey right now. Dan.
Oh, so that didn't take all day. But what I did today is I decided to pull a Whiskey Nate, Whiskey with a View, and I went out to Kilgore Falls in northern Maryland, and I went out to what they call the King and Queen seat, which is like a really, really, really high up place where you can like sit out over this giant overlook. But I didn't want to die, so I couldn't go all the way out there. I pansied out after walking up a mountain. Yeah, so I took a bunch of pictures, but I just couldn't get that last picture.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no. So I took a bunch of pictures at the waterfall, and it was fun. It was a good day.
So since the next topic, did you buy anything this week or anything? I sadly did not, so I don't have anything.
I did.
Man, dude, look at you spending the money.
It's not here yet.
Ooh, can you give us a tease or can you tell us what it is?
You know what it is.
I don't. What is it?
Oh.
I actually don't. To be honest with you, I don't.
Well, won't worry
We'll
about it
next time.
We'll worry about it when it
All
gets
right,
here.
fair enough.
But,
No.
How about you? You didn't buy anything?
No, man. So I've been saving. So I'm going on a trip. I'm actually gonna go to London and Paris in the next couple of weeks. So that'll be interesting. And then I maybe even meet up with Jason Whiskey Wise. So that'll be cool.
Ooh.
So I'm excited about that. Maybe if any of you guys are in London, let me know. Maybe we'll meet up and something like that. Grab a drink, which is be kind of cool.
Chad is trying to keep us on topic. The topic is tasting.
Yeah.
Because last week you covered, so when you have normally color, nose, palette, finish, last week we had nose,
Yes.
and that's like all the things that you smell, which ties right into palette, which is, 90% of what you taste is what you smell. But it's kind of funny because every once in a while you get a whiskey that smells a certain way, but then you taste it and you're like, that's not even the same thing. And sometimes you get a whiskey where you taste it and then it's dead nuts on for what you're smelling. So everyone's different.
So jump into it, right? So what are the key flavors profiles for whiskeys? Do you know? Do you know any by any chance? I'm trying to get my whiskey book
it depends on where you go to and who you talk to. If you go to like a big giant event for say Glenlivet or Balvenie, they'll break it into floral, smoky, peaty, and fruity. I think those are the main ones that they break it into, but each of those can be broken down like way more into all kinds of different things. Like you've got spicy, which can fall into all kinds of categories. I mean, you have tons of palate wheels out there that like explain exactly what the different flavors are. So
I was like,
it's not like you're at a loss for words.
Yeah, I know. So for me, when I do taste whiskeys, I do kind of write down notes, but I don't have a flavor wheel with me. I don't know if you carry a flavor wheel with you when you start tasting.
No, I don't. I just smell it and try to use my memory as much as possible. Like your olfactory memory, like we talked about last week, is super powerful. Hi, Shimon. And using your olfactory senses that way to smell things and then using your memory to figure out what those smells are tied to, that's like the best feeling in the entire world. The weird feeling is when you're like, oh, this smells like a bathroom in a school that I went to in Kuwait.
Or dirty diaper or, or an ashtray.
Oh, hopefully nothing. I mean, well, that's just all Ardbeg.
So with taste, it comes to, as you guys know, experience. If you're starting this, whiskey journey very new, don't feel bad when you hear someone talking about marzipan and mangoes on a tree that fallen down on your head or something stupid like that. You gotta think about it. Just they've had years and years of experience, or hopefully, they've tried many foods, and they can kind of pull those memories like you were mentioning before. So
yeah, so developing your palate is more than just developing your whiskey palate and tasting different whiskeys. Should display tasting. It's more than that. So developing your whiskey palate is like this gamut of just your palate, period. Like when you eat food, you eat different kinds of food, that's developing your palate. Like all that adds up. So you should definitely try, curry. You should definitely try, like you were just saying, marzipan. How many of you guys have ever tried marzipan? Like fresh marzipan almond paste is like really delicious. It's tasty and it's very sweet. But it has a very unique smell. And so that's where the fun's at.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Steve's right. Yeah, some people are trying to sound like they know more than they really do, but the goal is to get the most accurate depiction in words of the flavors that you're getting out of whatever it is that you're tasting. Because what you're trying to do is make it more relatable to everyone and yourself. Yeah. So instead of somebody got some autocorrect there, Sally. So instead of saying, this tastes like apple, when you say apple, everybody thinks of different kinds of apples. Like I almost always think of Granny Smith. Every once in a while, Pink Ladies. Every once in a while, Red Delicious, whatever. So all of these different kinds of apples, it's important to say like, oh, I tried this kind of apple and this is what I taste. Or like raisins, it's the same kind of thing. How many different kinds of raisins are there out there? Yeah. Wait.
Okay, so here I'll just showing you a little flavor wheel. So as you can see, everyone has a different types. This one's got floral, sweet, char, tannic, so on and so forth.
Sally, not Sally.
But yeah, so for me, like with bourbons, for instance, right? You get a lot of caramel, you got a lot of sweeter notes, so you kind of edge more onto that, and then you got the char, right? Then you go into more scotches where I feel as though they're more on the floral, sweet side. On some,
again, it depends on where.
Yeah, on some.
Yeah, I was gonna say some.
On some, yeah. And then you got I guess the best thing to note is that every whiskey is going to be different. Don't expect the same thing, even from the same distillery. Try things out. What would you? What?
I think.
You sure?
Try things out.
Try things out. And I lost my train of thought. No, try things out and just enjoy the experience. And then if you can pull a memory out of something, if you can understand, like say, oh, I've had this flavor before, try to figure that out. And then eventually you're going to tie that flavor to that moment. And I think that's probably one of the best parts of whiskeys where hopefully it's a good moment in your life where you can tie something to.
Yeah, instead of like a horrible one.
Yeah, that would suck.
Where you tie something to somebody's death.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I tasted this in the rain when he died. That's not cool.
And it was the best chocolate chip cookie I ever had.
Yeah, someone eating a chocolate chip cookie at a funeral, man. I don't think I would trust that guy.
You know what's funny is like if you eat a bunch of different chocolate chip cookies, this just goes more to palate. There's so many different kinds of chocolate chip cookies. Some are overly salty and you can taste it. Some are very heavy in vanilla. You can taste it. Some are very, super chocolatey and you get a lot of that semi-sweet chocolate. Yeah, this is the show tonight. This is the whiskey show tonight. Just because you can't spell my name doesn't mean we're not having a show.
Yeah,
but yes. So in terms of the palate, like those are important things to remember. But you have to think also, because you're going to remind yourself of notes in the future and because your palate's going to change in the future, because your taste buds regenerate every 7 days or whatever it is, it's important to remember that taking good notes is a good idea. Yeah. But if you really, really, really want to stretch your palate, if you want to do some palate exercises, besides eating new things that you've never tried before, which I totally recommend, like I just had a friend try escargot this weekend, what you should definitely do is have somebody bring you a bottle of whiskey that you don't know what it is and have them pour you some and then just try it. Like 100% blind taste testing is the most fun way to stretch your palate.
No, I agree. And holy bejeebies, man, this Octomore is smoky as fuck.
Oh. It's supposed to be. It's
yeah, no, and I felt like I was blowing
what
fire
Steve
out.
is saying is spot on. Like Bren whiskey reminds me of Bubble Yum Bubble Gum, like specifically Bubble Yum Bubble Gum. It's very floral. It's very bubble gum. But but everybody gets reminded of different weird stuff. Some people jelly beans.
That would be kind of cool, jelly beans. And remember, when someone says that they put mangoes and stuff, they technically haven't put mangoes in there. They're just getting a flavor that they associate it with. So a lot of people are like, hey, I don't get this. It's okay if you don't get this type of flavor. And then sometimes power of suggestion actually helps that too. So just be careful.
I lied. I said try all kinds of new food. Eric just said try balut. And do not eat.
What's wrong with a duck fetus?
Yeah, but it's not like, have you seen it?
Where am I from, bro?
I know. That's your people. Yeah. That's your people. I just don't get it. I'm Mongolian. We just eat other people.
With noodles. Can't forget the Mongolian noodles. But yeah, so hey everybody in chat, we're just talking about taste. So it's a hard one to talk about just because taste is subjective, but you can kind of categorize certain things. Like most bourbon, right? You're gonna get caramel. So just remember most different things, right? Rye, you get most of a spice. Depends on in Scotland, just different areas. Isla's more on the smoky side, but it can be different, right? You got, of course, Highland sweeter with a bit of peat. What is it? What else is over there? Glenfiddich stuff's more sweet stuff, or floral.
Yeah, no, that's why it's broken up the way it is. So you got Campbelltown, you got Isla, you got the Islands, which is going to be a totally floral, peaty, and you're going to have like Speyside. You've got the Lowlands, which are much more. Some of those are triple distilled, some of those are 2.5 distilled, and they're much more mellow and much more like low key in terms of the flavor. It depends on which area they're from.
So if I could tell something to my past self, would basically be, hey, if you like something in a certain area, try other things around that area and see if you like it as well. Try not to stick to one brand. Try to branch out. But if you're kind of the person like, oh, I like sweeter stuff, focus on that region that you think that's the more sweeter, or where you've watched reviews. There's a lot of YouTubers out here that do a lot of reviews. A lot of them in the chat right now. Check them out. See what their palate was. Like I did the same thing when I was following Wally before on Scotch and Stiff. It was like, hey, what does he like? He likes a sweeter and a sherry type finish stuff. Follow that. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I like that sherry spice, and that's the good stuff. But I also like drinking just sherry. Yeah. So I mean that makes a huge difference too. Wait, we've got a serious question in there. Tide Pods or condoms? I'm gonna go with floss.
For what?
So I don't know what kids are doing with these condoms and why they're trying to kill themselves. But when I was a kid in high school, we used to take like not minty regular like wax floss, snort it up your nose, and exactly, and then you can pull it out of your mouth, and then you just like and it was a funny thing to do. Now kids are doing it with condoms, which will block your airway, and if they die, then I feel like they're kind of
yeah, man. Kids nowadays were doing Tide Pods and condoms and shit. I was just drinking, so I'd rather stick with that.
Glengoyne 21. So I recently had the Glengoyne 15 and I bought the 18 on the same night, but then I tried the 15.
Huh?
Their chill filtering kind of, I don't know. Like Steve Whiskey Watch in there, he loves it. But Glengoyne, just of the two that I've had so far, it seems like the chill filtering is taking some of the flavor away, I think. And I don't know. It's not as in your face as I was hoping for. But Wally does not love the peat because Habs is drunk already.
Holy shit. I actually finished this.
And he spelled my name for once.
The Octomore wasn't that bad, but it had a sweeter note at the end, which is kind of cool. I never got that before.
I'm telling you, single casks and special editions change everything. Yeah. Like, people talk about Black Art and they buy it from Brooklighty and they're like, oh, it's going to be peated. When I had it, it tasted like Jolly Ranchers. I was like, this is a Jolly Rancher in a bottle. This is pretty sweet.
And the thing is, like, Octomore is known for it's the most peated whiskey, blah, 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 blah. So they kind of up that ante. Yeah, it's peaty at the start, but then once you get down to it, it's actually pretty good. Cask strength
Glengoyne is money. I need to try that stuff. Need more of it in my life.
All right, so anything else about palate? Anything you guys, any interesting stories? Like, for me, I have 3 bottles of Eagle Rare. And 2 of them are store picks, 1 was a regular. And you could tell from the taste, it's like one was very, very wood forward in the taste. So it tasted like basically licking a tree. You got the other part where it was so sweet, it was just like drinking, it was like eating caramel, like the, what are those, Werther's caramels?
What about the Brooklighty heavily peated Port Charlotte?
Never had that one.
Sorry, and so sometimes they're like caramel, so caramel forward,
yeah,
wood
and
forward.
Then the standard one was just like basic and balance. So even from the same distillery, your store picks, like you were mentioning before, like it changes the things out. And I love showing people this, like, this is from the same distillery. These are different classes. This is a blend of all the casks together. These are the variations, because a lot of people tell me, like, why do you have so many bottles back there? What's the difference? Scotch is Scotch. Whiskey is whiskey. And I'm like, well, you get different tastes, different flavors. And then you just like, hey, this is from the same distillery. These are just independent barrels. Try them out. And like, these are 3 different whiskeys. I'm like, no, it's the same one. Yes, they're different, but they come from the same mash bill, same area. Just one's a different cask, and the wood did something different. So.
Yeah, the wood does a lot of amazing things to it. That's like, they always say like wood is like 70 to 80% of the flavors that you're getting inside your whiskey anyways. And it's amazing to actually see that difference because you're buying it different single barrels. That's why I think independent bottlings are so interesting because you can get it from a distillery that you already know and love and get something completely crazy. Like that one I had a Macallan that was aged, and it was aged in rum casks, and it was bonkers. Was that like I've never had anything like that before.
Was that a special release, or was that just like a...
It was a special release. They only had 239 bottles. Damn. And Jack Rose got like 3 of them, and I definitely did a bottle kill on the last one they had, and I was so sad because I can't find them anymore. Damn. But they had another one that night. I tried the Alchemy, and I forgot what they aged that in. Some weird wacky cask, and you'd never in a million years guess this is Macallan.
Oh, it's a Macallan.
It's kind of crazy.
I was like, Alchemy, that sounds like a whatchamacallit, Compass Box bottle.
Independent bottlings we get here. We get classic casks. We
got quite a few.
I think Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. We get
Single Cask Nation. What else do you get?
We get a lot. In your area, you get. Don't you get Boutique Whiskey Company?
No, I have to get mine overseas.
Oh, maybe that's Chicago then. Like, there's some places here in the States where they're getting Boutique Whiskey Company on the shelves, and I'm like,
you got
what?
Kirkland?
Kirkland, yeah, that's an bottle. That's Alexander Murray & Co.
Battle, I think it's Battlefield or Battle something.
Battle Hill.
Yeah, that's from.
Yeah, they sell a lot. You got Executive Malts, exclusive casks. You have those. Those are a lot of the ones you see in like Total Wine.
Yeah, and to be honest, Jason, I'm actually very jealous of you because you guys do get everything, and plus you even get small independent bottlers around the distillery, which is great. So,
Cadenheads, Gordon MacPhail. Yeah, Blackadder, one of my favorites. Jeez, they kick it up a notch when they put their stuff in the bottle.
But
I've had some amazing Blackadders.
And a lot of people guys listening, a lot of you guys are whiskey, experts and stuff like that. Like, it's just something about single casks, just for us right now where we are, is just amazing. Or even just deconstructions of a bottle that we like you were mentioning last week with all that Glenfiddich stuff, the deconstruction. Like, you're never gonna get that anywhere, and that flavor profile is gonna be so different. So, yeah.
Oh man. That's all you had to say about palate this week? You had so much for the nose. What's going on? You didn't talk about anything of like the human tongue, how they say it only tastes 5 different flavors.
Like I mentioned,
like salty, sweet,
like
sweet, whatever the other one is.
Umami,
which is garbage, but umami, which is like, it tastes like meat or something.
It's a blend of flavors, right? Umami is like what, sweet and salty all in one. So mostly Asian
and there's
food.
the old wives' tale. the old wives' tale where it's like, oh, this section is this and this section is this, but in reality, your taste buds are spread all out and they're all over the place.
I don't think they.
But what's weird is like you get different flavors from different parts of your tongue. Sorry, I keep cutting.
No, it's fine, man. Oh, like yeah, you get different flavors, but for me, I feel as though that people when they think about palate and taste, they're always wondering why can somebody say that it tastes like this on a summer day with dew and stuff like that. It just I feel as though that instead of us being like just every day like, hey, let's talk about this, it's like all flavors are gonna be different. What you get is not always gonna be the same as what other people get, but share that experience. Never be afraid to tell people that, oh, I think it tastes like this, and then if somebody says that, oh no, it doesn't taste like this, it tastes like that, they're full of shit. They're asshole and they're full of shit. Like no joke. It's like if Wally goes, Charles, it tastes like bubblegum. I'm like, it's not. I don't taste bubblegum. It's like maybe you do, or maybe it's juicy fruit bubblegum and not whatever bubblegum you said it was.
Oh, I did that recently with Tracy. I was tasting something and I was like, man, this tastes like paper.
Okay,
like old paper, not like books. Books have like such a unique smell, like when you smell book paper. But like this was like old paper, and Tracy was like not smelling it, and then all of a sudden she was like, "Oh, there it is," and you could taste it. It was palatable. It was weird. It was super weird. I'm not gonna say what whiskey that was. Let's never do that again. 5 flavors.
Good for you, my friend.
I ignored that comment because it made me laugh like crazy.
I don't know if it, Eric. I don't know if the single cast ruin regular distilleries releases unless it's a distillery special release. Then I might think it, like, let's say for instance Glenfiddich did someone did an independent rum cast of a Glenfiddich, and then Glenfiddich came out with a rum cast. I think people are still going to buy both of them and try them out. I don't feel as though that it's going to destroy anything, but we've been talking about this, me and Wally have been talking about this with Dalmore. I really like that single cast. That would probably ruin Dalmore for me, because it doesn't taste as good as that. So, like, I wouldn't be buying any more Dalmores unless it's a single cast.
What is for umami? Try Côte Rôtie from Northern Rhone. I mean, like Côte d'Rhône, like whiskey, like wine, has a beef jerky aroma. That sounds horrible.
I don't know, man. Beef jerky sounds pretty good.
Yeah, no, beef jerky sounds amazing to me also, but so does barbecues and so do fires.
And he's saying aroma, not the taste.
And I smell Lefroy.
I always think it's funny when people say, "Oh, it smells meaty," and I'm like, "Really? It smells meaty?"
Ardbeg smells.
I always try and get that.
Ardbeg smells like if you go to a butcher and you go in there and you go to where they have like
the meat racks.
The
meat racks. Yeah.
It literally will smell like meat. I am Ardbeg. Love-hate relationship.
I don't know. Scotch for everyone. Some of the independent ballers are not always watered down. But then again, I've never had a whiskey where I'm like, I'm glad it's watered down. Like, have you?
So somebody trolled that on the some whiskey bourbon Scotch enthusiast group on Facebook, and somebody was like, I prefer whiskeys at 40%, and I couldn't knock what he was saying. Everybody else was like, you have to have barrel proof. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, the human palate, and the reason that all the master distillers are all nosing these things at 20% is because the human palate gets overwhelmed by the alcohol. So to really get the flavors, less proof is actually more.
Yeah.
So I couldn't knock what this guy was saying, and when I threw that out there, it got burned like a witch on a stake. I personally like we're talking about, right? Taste is objective. So I personally would like as high proof as possible, and then you water it down to your palate. To your level that you want. So I have to address something in chat. Pirates don't have a favorite whiskey. Pirates drink rum. Yeah. Let's be serious.
We all know that.
They drink Oloroso Sherry Cask aged rum.
They're not drinking Ardbeg. No.
They don't drink Ardbeg. No. They've never even been to Scotland. There were no Scottish
pirates. The Vikings that'd be so weird. And the pirates, man, they fight all the time. And then they got the ninjas really? Coming in.
Wait, this sounds like a Lego movie.
Probably is.
I don't know how accurate this is.
I don't know.
Oh, see, Hab says he prefers 40. There was a giant thing that happened years ago where 46 had to be the number.
40, really?
Where somebody said like it was the best number to make sure that you didn't like lose flavors and stuff. It's so weird.
Like I measured it like hot sauce, right? Some people like a lot of hot sauce. Some people like a little bit of hot sauce. It's
just crazy because I love the hot sauce, but barrel proof stuff, it depends on what it is.
Yeah, no, I know what you get a bit. We'll see about it, but it is what it is.
It depends on what it is. I'm literally sipping 60% alcohol, and I have no problem with it. Not everything is garbage as Elijah.
Yeah, then I put Elijah Craig out there, and you're like, "What the hell is this? You'll burn my face."
That's the thing. So you have stuff that 40% that's going to have amazing flavor, and you have stuff at 40% that's going to be total garbage. Judge every bottle on its own. No, I agree. Period. Always.
But there is a case when it comes to the line. So be careful with when you try different lines. Like some 12s are not going to be the same as the 15. The 15s are going to be 18.
Oh, lines like that. Yeah. I thought you were talking about cocaine all of a sudden, and I was like, lines. What is he talking about?
No, just like, you know, I want to say, what would you call them? The range. There you go. It's a line. Range.
There you go. Core ranges.
There you go. You got me. But yeah. Try looking through the comments.
So, unfortunately, Steve is probably right. So, most brands are probably bottling at 40% because somebody has to be a bean counter. And that's the nature of the beast.
And that's the lowest denomination, right? That you can get?
That's the lowest it can be for whiskey. It happens to be 80 proof. So, that's just the way it is. But, I mean, see, I can't agree with what
Eric said.
What Eric is saying, because you're saying prefer the high 50s. But I've had stuff that's in the 60s that's not good. That's not palatable. And I've had stuff that's 50%, like Brocolati reminds me of this all the time. Brocolati at 50%, you can't even taste alcohol in it. I could drink that bottle. Yeah. Like, that's how smooth it is.
And that's how scary it is.
But, like, people hate using the word smooth for the whiskey, but I use it more to describe the alcohol content.
I think smooth was given a bad connotation by, what's his name?
Bourbon people.
I would say bourbon people.
No? They're the only ones I who seem to hate that.
What's that reviewer called again? The big guy here.
Which reviewer? There are lots of reviewers.
The biggest one here on Ralphie. Ralphie hates the word smooth.
Why?
He just he says it doesn't describe anything, but I'm like, it describes how it goes down. So
it describes all kinds of things. It could be described. The opposite would be harsh. So some whiskeys, their alcohol is very harsh. Like how do you describe it?
I agree, but I think that's the reason why, since he's a large influencer, a lot of people take fine to that. So.
Yeah, like Blade and Bow to me is just. It has harsher alcohol notes than Larceny, but they have a very, very similar nose
they made in the same
profile.
Are they? They were.
One's Stitzel Weller, and the other one Larceny's Heaven Hill, isn't it? Isn't Larceny Heaven Hill? Bourbon people, help!
A lot of Scotch people here, man. I don't think a lot of bourbon here.
Oh, I didn't go to Whiskey Extravaganza today. I went to not Whiskey Extravaganza. I'm
very surprised he didn't go too, because like Scotch and Time was like going crazy there. He went there early, and they had
Eric. The VIP. Eric will go everywhere.
No, I don't even think he had VIP. I think he had more better access than VIP. Because he was there when they were setting up, and he was trying things before people even got in the room.
He's probably carrying boxes for somebody.
Could be. I would. Yeah, sure.
Most of us do, I think.
Is it just today for the Whiskey Extravaganza, or?
Scotch says dummies. Where are you? Yeah, Whiskey Extravaganza today. Where are you at, Wally? What do you mean? Where am I at? I'm in my house. I'm in the same computer room I'm always in.
He's next door. What are you talking about? Like, I can almost reach him. Like,
am I really?
Ah.
Oh.
We can see your arm, though. Ah! Okay. But yeah. What? Down. Having fun. All right. Any other questions for you guys? But yeah, that's palate. I know we didn't go into all the technical details and stuff like that, but just experience. Let us know what you taste. Try things out. If Wally says it tastes like mangoes, try it out. Pineapples, Highland Park, try it out. See if it does.
Okay, Highland Park full volume does taste like pineapple.
See if he's on crack or not.
And there are stinking mangoes in Amroot Fusion. I knew you were saying that. Scotch Test Stubbies. I just added the background. It looks prettier than, I don't know, the garbage in my room. I don't know what's going on.
He's got like 3 sets in his house, man. So he was nice enough to put that set up for us.
Way too many things going on in this house.
Mm-hmm.
At least, he's the first one to notice, and this is week 3 of this thing.
Yeah, no one really said anything. Or, dude, like, there's times where, like, you shaved everyone. I'm like, how the fuck did no one notice?
Oh, yeah, now I need to shave again. I can already feel it. This is getting ridiculous.
But, yeah, guys, is that it? I think that's it. It's a pretty short one. We didn't talk too much about it.
Scotch can be brutal above... No, Eric. Oh, my gosh. This is what I'm talking about. Like, you can't make generalizations like that. Like... Okay, so you said Scotch can be brutal above 60% and bourbon gets smooth, but I totally disagree. I've had a lot of garbage bourbons that over 60%, you're just like, this is turning into trash. Like, percentage of alcohol does not mean anything. That's like age. Age does not mean anything. It's like color. Color sometimes does not mean anything. Sometimes it means the type of wood it was aged in. There's so many of these things. How did we get onto this tangent from palate? But yeah, no. Alcohol content.
No, it's the way it tastes, right? He's saying it's more brutal, so it's tied to palate. It makes sense. But I don't know about, like... A lot of my single casks are very easy drinking at 60%.
Except this is easy drinking at 60%. I will literally...
I honestly don't think bourbon...
I could tank a bottle.
Bourbon, when it ages, it gets smoother, I feel as though. But I don't think that the percentage of alcohol changes how smooth it is. Because
No, it's a per cast thing because I'm telling you, like I like PVW 23, and to me it's aged the right amount of time. But to a lot of people, they say it's oaked, and I'm like, have you tried Elijah Craig 18, which is 5 years younger, but it's horribly over
yeah,
oaked. Like
some people are more susceptible to the woody taste, which is interesting. So
yeah, there are people who can't smell peat.
oh,
I was talking
really?
about that with some distillery. Yeah, I was talking about that. I think I was talking about that at Glenfiddich, like in Glenfiddich, like at
Like
Scot-
some
in
people just can't
Scotland.
smell it or taste it or what?
Yeah, so people that they do for their tasting panels, there are people who literally can't smell peat, and I'm like, what a blessing that is.
Holy shit! So I wonder what it tastes like then to them.
I don't know. It's gonna taste like something else.
Wow,
But I'm
that's interesting.
telling you, people's palates. That's how different people's palates are.
Do you think they're not? Do you think they're immune to peat, or they just it doesn't hit their receptors?
Something's just not registering. And I bet it's different kinds of peat too, because something's just not registering on their.
Yeah,
palate.
like they said that was it Balvenie stuff isn't peated, but it's not that type of peat, so you have to be really, really susceptible to it to even taste it.
Yeah, the 17 peat's really, really subtle. I think the 14 peat is much more in your face. But again, as I've said before, age really kills peat.
Yeah.
It does a good job of bringing it down.
Wow, Eric, wait, man, dude, when you fart, then holy shit, you feel happy then. No one else.
No, but like I think he means the sulfur and like.
Yeah.
Are you talking about sulfur sherry casks?
That's what I'm assuming he's talking about.
Like bad
Because
of the 90s or something.
there's some sherry casts that taste really bad when it comes to that.
Yeah, they taste like rubber erasers on the back of a pencil, and it's
Okay, I
pretty
don't
garbage.
get that, but holy shit.
I'm not going to say what brand that I know exactly that tastes like that, but I'm gonna leave it alone because we don't talk
Yeah,
anymore.
kid up Scotch and Sniff in his DM and ask him what it is. He'll probably tell you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And yeah, so again, this is our show today. We're going to be talking next week about Finish, which is my technically favorite. So
Which is ironically the finish to this series.
there you go. And then we'll probably throw in a few fun bottles that we like. What else? I'm the Drinking Caveman. He is Scotch and If. Help this guy get to 1,000 followers on subscribers on you.
We're getting there.
Almost there.
We're so close.
Like
We're so close.
900 and something.
Yes.
Okay, 900 and something. He's almost there, guys. Help him out. Again, you can subscribe to us on Instagram. That's where we chill out. Thank you again to our Patreons down below. Scotch's Dummies, Whiskey Throttle Anonymous, and this guy over here. And then, yeah, how's your Patreon doing? You gonna plug it?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. And then, do you have a 1 minute whiskey coming out this week?
No.
What? I've been waiting for those.
I didn't tell my video guide. I just did the last one that we had from last time. We have no 1 minute whiskeys coming out.
Damn.
We have no videos coming out this week.
But
You're just bumping
you
it.
do have Glenfiddich, some Glenfiddich
We have
things, right?
15 videos recorded.
Yep.
We have none edited and ready to go.
All right. So if you want to see them raw, go follow his Patreon and he'll show the links and how funny some of those things are.
Abs is so funny.
He loves to finish. You finish first, dude, or you always finish last?
A gentleman always finishes last. Where is this going? I hope that's not what he's talking about, but I get the feeling
Yeah,
that's what he's talking about.
I hope so. Girl Scout cookies and whiskey pairings. Why not? I love my Thin Mints. I'm guessing that's Thin Mints, right? Hope they are. Thin Mints are the bomb. Yeah, by the way, quick tip, if you like Thin Mints, put them in the freezer or fridge. They taste amazing cold.
Oh, my brother's wife dropped these off for me.
Awesome. I have like 4 boxes like stashed somewhere. I love that shit. All right, guys, this is the Whiskey Untitled. Thank you so much. Before Wally has an aneurysm.
One thing, any of you guys that have had Hibiki 21, listen to me. I recently did a pairing video. I'm going to share a secret with you guys. I should probably do this on Patreon,
go
whatever. Strawberries and Hibiki 21. Just trust me. Do it. That's it. Ain't nothing else.
Bam.
Cut up some fresh strawberries.
Strawberries and cream or just
just-
strawberries and...
Just fresh strawberries. Wash them, cut them up, eat them with Hibiki 21.
All right.
One time I was sitting tasting Hibiki and I tasted strawberries, but oof, man.
All right, on that note, what do you say, Wally? Peace.